Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I have another Netflix exclusive review and I'm going to talk about a film by the name of Vile. The plot of Vile is very simple. We have 10 people trapped in a room and they have approximately 24 hours to make each other feel pain. And the reason they have to do this, I don't want to give too much away, but they have tubes hooked up to the back of their heads, and whenever you feel pain, a certain chemical, adrenaline, is released from your brain into the tube, and the person that is torturing them wants this chemical. And that's pretty much what the main plot is. They have to come to an agreement to torture each other, that way they can get out of this place alive. That's pretty much the main plot of the horror film on Netflix by the name of Vile. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on Vile, I really enjoyed this film as a whole. I went into this film expecting it to be kind of just, your generic torture film. The films like Saw and Hostel, they didn't create the genre of torture films, so they kind of started the craze, where you have, 9, 10 people, trapped in a room, and they all have to, get out of there. Saw and Hostel kind of started that craze, and I thought Vile was just going to kind of be a knockoff of the great things that Saw and Hostel did, because I love both Saw and Hostel. I probably like Saw a little more, honestly. But so anyways, I thought Vile was kind of be a knockoff, but I was actually thoroughly surprised with what Vile brought. It's the classic torture film, but it has a twist. I'm going to get a little spoilerish, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, you might want to stop this video in the next few minutes. But for right now, I won't get spoilers until probably 2 or 3 minutes later from now. But for right now, let's just talk about the movie as a whole. One of the things I loved about the movie was just how unpredictable it was. I mean, I was kind of wondering what was going to happen the entire time. I was anxious. I was on the edge of my seat. It was just very unpredictable. The movie has probably 2 or 3 twists in there to keep you guessing the entire time. And it was really great just how unpredictable it was, because a lot of torture films, sometimes they can be very predictable, sometimes they can get old, and sometimes torture films can get just downright repetitive. Well, that's not the case with Vile. Vile ends up being just a thoroughly entertaining film, and it's just so unpredictable that it just really turns out to be just a fun time. Another thing I loved about the film was how creative and innovative it was. All the death sequences are very, very, very creative. They use, I'm going to get a little spoilerish here, so, they use things like cheese graters. They use, there's a scene where they like break collarbones, and that scene's in slow motion. There's a scene with like boiling water where like 3 of them stick their hands in boiling water. I really enjoyed that sequence. It was really cool because the film had a lot of stylistic sequences to it, and it was just, I loved the stylistic this about it, and that was another really cool thing about the film. I also loved, sometimes with horror films, you don't, care about the characters much. Well, that wasn't the case with Vile either. I mean, I thought the characters were really developed in a great way, where you actually get to know each character thoroughly. I mean, there's 10 people in a room, and you wouldn't think that all 10 of them would be developed in the same way, but I would say that I have to disagree with that. The 10 characters in this film are developed in a great way, and I mean, you get to know each one of them very well and actually come to care for them and have sympathy for them when you actually get to find out things about them. There's several characters in the film that you don't expect certain things from, and it's really cool just to see what secrets each character are hiding from each other, and you can just, it's really cool just to see the chaos in this room erupt and see friends turn on friends, and I love that about the film, because it was just so unpredictable, and overall it just turned out to be a fun time. Especially, I really enjoyed, the best part of the film is probably the last 30 minutes, because the last 30 minutes it just gets really cool. The violence in the film is also done in a great way. It's very violent, lots of on-screen punch. At first they start off like hitting each other in the face, and then they realize that that's not enough pain, so they have to go other methods, such as using pliers to rip each other's fingernails off, and the violence just keeps going up and up and up, and I thought the violence was done in a really good way, where it just made the film very entertaining. So like I said earlier, best things about the film was that it was very, unpredictable. I didn't know what was going to happen, and it was your classic torture film that, like stuff like Saw and Hostel created, but it was a nice twist to the torture genre. So overall, a straight up 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Just great stuff all around, and I thought all the actors did a great job in the film. So that's pretty much my review, and let's see what the next horror film on Netflix is. The next horror film on Netflix is, you can see the films that I recently watched. I recently reviewed Vile, War of the Dead, and Hansel and Gretel. Those are my first 3 episodes. If I get my Wii remote here, if you give me just a quick second, we go down to the horror section and we see what the next horror review is. That way you guys can be expecting a video within the next few days. Just give me a quick second. Here we go. So the next film, I've already seen Child's Play 2. So the next horror film is a film of the name of Devil's Seed. So that'll be the next film I will be doing. I've already seen Awakening, then I'll do Rise of the Zombies, Hold Your Breath. I own Cabin Fever 2, I've already seen it. And I believe I've already posted a review of Cabin Fever 2 also. And then I'll keep moving on with Hypothermia and such. But the next review you will be seeing will be a review by the name of Devil's Seed. Once again, thanks for watching the video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later with more Netflix exclusive reviews.